Good morning, everyone. I just picked up Bandit and Nadia here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And over the next 4.5 days, I'm going to be driving them the 2,500 miles all the way to Phoenix, Arizona. And today we're going to stop in a town that I've always wanted to go to. It's a little town known for big things, Casey, Illinois. I know most people have never heard of Casey, Illinois, but it's a little bitty town with 13 of the world's largest structures. So we are going to see the world's largest mailbox, the world's largest pitchfork, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and come along for the ride. All right, we've been on the road for a few hours, and we are now at the Indiana Welcome Center. We have about 3 hours left to get to Casey, Illinois, and see all the big stuff. And then while we're stopped here, I just booked our Airbnb for the night in St. Louis, Missouri. We're gonna have a nice house with a fenced-in yard for the pups, so we are really looking forward to that. Okay guys, we made it here to Casey, Illinois, and we're starting our world's largest stops here at the world's largest key. It's a big Chevy key here on the side of this building in downtown Casey, Illinois. Pretty cool. Right here on Main Street, we have the world's largest mailbox. This thing is 5,473 cubic feet. And then down there behind me, you have the world's largest pencil and a big barbershop sign. And then over here, we have a huge bird cage. I don't know if this is the world's largest or not. I don't see a sign saying that, but this little bitty town has a population of like 2,400 people, and they have the Guinness World Record for 13 of the world's largest things. Pretty cool. There's also 30 other big things here that didn't quite make the Guinness World Records. So cool to see this driving across the country. I walked the dogs around a little bit and got some pictures of them with the mailbox and the key and the pencil and everything, but I had to put them back in the car with the AC and then walk around and get those vlog clips because these guys are really anxious and they're really strong, and there's just no way for me to safely vlog while controlling both of them outside of the car. So I'm kind of having to tag team this a little bit, but we're having fun. And next we're going to drive right down the street here and see the world's largest rocking chair. Okay, if this hasn't already been dubbed the world's coolest intersection, I think we should go ahead and dub it that. Because right here at this crossroads, we have the world's largest rocking chair behind me. Then right here, we have the world's largest wind chime. And then over here behind me now is the world's largest teeter-totter. I mean, this is just so cool. If you guys have watched my pet transport vlogs before, you know that I have seen a lot of the world's largest structures and things while I'm driving dogs all around the country. And I just love seeing quirky, cool roadside attractions. So it just feels kind of full circle to finally be here in Casey, Illinois, seeing all of this. All right, we rolled out of Casey, Illinois there, and we made it to St. Louis, Missouri. We're getting a little walk in here at the Malcolm Martin Park, here right on the other side of the river from the Gateway Arch. I was worried we wouldn't be able to get a walk in here, as I always do when I come through St. Louis, because we've gone through rain the whole way from Casey until here the last couple of hours. But literally right when we got to the exit for this park, the rain cleared up and we got a full rainbow all the way across the sky. So that was really incredible. It always just feels super special to see a full rainbow and for the sun to come out right at your exit. I mean, how cool. And we'll be at our Airbnb here in just about 15 minutes. It's about 15 minutes on that side of the river in downtown St. Louis. I would have loved to have seen some of the other world's largest objects there in Casey, Illinois, but like I said before, these pups are pretty anxious and they're pretty strong. And Bandit here is 11 years old and he needs some help getting in and out of the car. So I just didn't want to put them through all of that stress and anxiety stopping at every single world's largest spot in Casey, Illinois. So I saw the ones that were the most interesting to me, and hopefully I'll get to see the rest on a future pet transport. This is actually my first time driving this route from Pennsylvania to Arizona. I've never driven that stretch of I-70 before, so as many times as I've driven across the country, that's my first time going through Casey, Illinois. All right, guys, it's about 7 p.m. and we just got into our Airbnb here in St. Louis. Check this place out. It is nice. It's a historic home here in downtown St. Louis. Pet friendly, obviously, with a fenced in backyard. Beautiful hardwood floors. It's like 3 bedroom, 2 bath, way more than Bandit and Nadia and I need. But with how anxious they are and how they did in the hotel last night, I just really felt like it was going to be better for all of us if we got a home to stay in. This is the backyard. Bandit and Nadia are going to love this. They're exploring right now, checking it out. I'm just so grateful to have found this place last minute. You know, I've talked about this in pet transport vlogs before, but I really never stay in Airbnbs because they're almost always out of our price range, and a lot of the time you have to go way off of the interstate for them. And honestly, this place did cost about 3 times what I would typically spend on a hotel when I'm doing my pet transports. But again, you know, I picked these guys up yesterday. I didn't show you guys that in the vlog, but I actually picked them up yesterday, drove the first couple hours with them last night. And, you know, they just really were not doing well with all the different noises in the hotel. And they were very anxious, kind of pacing around the room and stuff most of the night. So this is going to be much better for them. And it's going to be much better for me, too. If you guys have been following along with my weekly vlogs, you know that I have been on the road for the last few weeks, just doing back-to-back cross-country pet transports, which I love, but, you know, staying in the cheap roadside motels every night definitely gets a little bit old after a while. So that's another reason why I was willing to pay a little bit more for this home in St. Louis here. Is I just really need like a clean, nice bed to sleep in and somewhere to let the dogs run around. Like I said, it's good for them and it's good for me too. And I also usually have to eat fast food, you know, just go through a drive-through and eat fast food when I'm on the road. But since we have a home here, I'm actually going to order Uber Eats from a local St. Louis restaurant. I'm going to find something good. So I'm happy, I'm excited, life is good. Good morning, everyone. I slept so well last night here at this Airbnb. After the last 3 weeks on the road, staying in dirty roadside motels, I needed this. I needed this reset, and I just feel so rejuvenated. And the dogs and I got up early this morning because I had a little bit of work to do on the computer, and I wanted to try to find an Airbnb for tonight, but I have not been able to find anything in the area that we'll be stopping in. There is one place that is in our price range and pet friendly, but it does not have a fenced in yard, and even more importantly, it does not have Wi-Fi. And I mean, you guys know that I still have my team of pet sitters and dog walkers back in Jacksonville, so I cannot do these transports without Wi-Fi because I do work on my computer every morning and every evening. It's about 8 a.m. and the pups and I are enjoying our last few minutes with the fenced-in yard before we hit the road. We are about to start heading towards Shamrock, Texas. I was not able to find an Airbnb for tonight, but I booked us a room at the Motel 6 there. We have about 600 miles to get there. Not a lot to see on today's route. You know, yesterday was great with having Casey, Illinois, and you know, the Gateway Arch and stuff. But today is just going to be a long day of driving. I was just looking at some of our pictures from yesterday, and I'm laughing at my hair. It looks ridiculous. I know it looks ridiculous. Just drop a comment down below. Tell me I need a haircut. I know. I've been trying to grow it out for the last couple months, and I've been in the awkward stage, and now I feel like I'm officially in the crazy phase. Um, Looks almost like I have a mullet. Promise I'm not growing a mullet. All right, we're here at the Cherokee Trading Post on the western side of Oklahoma City. I've driven by this place a million times and never stopped here, but it's the most interesting place on today's route. So I figured we'd stop, get a little walk in. They have some real bison down here that the dogs are very interested in. And they've got some other fake bison statues and sculptures and stuff over here by the actual trading post. And then this teepee and a mural. Kind of neat, you know, most interesting thing we've seen all day. We have about 2 hours left to get to our hotel in Shamrock, Texas. Okay, it's a little after 7 p.m. and the pups and I just got checked into our Motel 6 here in Shamrock, Texas. You can see behind me that it is very, very different from the Airbnb that we had last night, but we'll make do. We will survive. The dogs are about to eat dinner right now, and then there's a little park in this town, and I think I'm going to take the dogs down there for our evening walk. Okay, after Bandit and Nadia ate their dinner there at the hotel, we came down here to Elmore Park. Shamrock is just a little bitty place. It has population of like 1,500. So we drove through the little town, and this is like one of only 2 parks in the whole town. But I just felt bad that the dogs didn't have a yard to run around in tonight, and I needed to move and just get some fresh air after being in the car all day too. So we're just hanging out here at the park for a little while. We covered about 650 miles today, driving from St. Louis here to Shamrock, Texas. Like I said earlier, there's not much to see on today's route, but tomorrow morning we'll be going through Amarillo, Texas, and we'll stop at the Cadillac Ranch there. When we get back to the hotel in a few minutes, I'm going to try to find us an Airbnb around like Gallup, New Mexico area for tomorrow night. Hopefully we'll be able to find one. You know, like I said, in St. Louis, finding pet-friendly Airbnbs in our price range that are not too far off of the interstate is really rare. But I am going to try my hardest for these guys. Good morning, everyone. We're here at the Cadillac Ranch on the western side of Amarillo, Texas. Pups and I just walked out there and looked at these Cadillacs that are buried in this field. We've been on the road for about an hour and a half. It was like 90 miles to get here from Shamrock, Texas. Weather's beautiful right now. It's like mid 70s with a light breeze. And they must have gotten a lot of rain overnight here, because I've been here a million times and this is the first time I've ever seen the ground wet. And I don't know, it actually made it pretty cool to see like the reflection of the Cadillacs like in the puddle. It's the little things in life, I guess. I was actually able to find us another pet-friendly Airbnb for tonight in Holbrook, Arizona. We have about 500 miles to get there from where we are right now in Amarillo. So a fairly short day on the road for us, but I am just so happy to have found a quiet, safe home for us to stay in tonight. All right, we are now here at the world's largest branding iron in Vega, Texas. Pretty cool. I've driven past the exit for Vega many times and had no idea that this was here. Hopefully I can get the whole thing in the video here. It is huge, and there is just cow pastures all around us. The beautiful smell of cow manure in the air. We're now out here exploring the Rio Grande Park in downtown Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is a big, beautiful park right along the river, right in downtown Albuquerque. I've never been here before, but it's a beautiful day. We're enjoying a nice walk, sitting in the grass, watching some squirrels together. The dogs are enjoying themselves. We're actually like way ahead of schedule today. I got up early this morning. I was up at like 5 a.m. We were in the car rolling at 6. And so we are going to get to our Airbnb like way earlier than I usually stop. So that's why I'm just kind of enjoying this park for a little while. Because it's only 1 p.m. right now, and we're only 3 hours from our Airbnb in Holbrook. Alrighty, guys, we just made it to our Airbnb here in Holbrook, Arizona. We're getting settled in now. The dogs are very happy to be out of the car, able to stretch their legs in some AC. This is a cute little bunkhouse. This place used to be a ranch, and this is where the cowboys would stay back in the 30s and 40s. Apparently, this place was actually built like in the early 1900s, and it's been listed on Airbnb for like 9 years. Pretty cool. It is in a family's backyard, and the yard is not fenced for the dogs, so that just is what it is. Still much better than being in a hotel. I think the dogs will be much happier here. It's actually only 4:30 in the afternoon here, Arizona time, because apparently Arizona does not observe daylight savings time. um, I don't know why. If somebody can explain that to me, put it down in the comments below. But it is 7:30 Eastern time, and that's the time that me and the dogs are used to. So I'm ready for dinner, and I'm going to be ready for bed here way before the sun goes down. So we actually covered over 600 miles today, driving from Shamrock, Texas, here to Holbrook, Arizona. And if you guys have watched my pet transport vlogs before, you might remember that about a year ago, I was driving two Zolo dogs across the country, and the car broke down here in this little town of Holbrook. And I was able to find like this really nice older guy that could fix the car on a Sunday morning, and he didn't charge me. It was such an amazing experience, and something that I'm still so grateful for, and something that I will never forget. So it's just kind of cool to be staying in this little town again, because this is just one of those places that I would typically never have a reason to be in if I wasn't a professional pet transporter. Check this out. I'm out here driving through Holbrook, and this is the world's longest map of Route 66. Pretty cool. I think it needs a fresh coat of paint, but I've seen a lot of the world's largest on this trip, but this is my first time ever seeing the world's longest. Um, Somebody's gonna have jokes in the comments. I'll probably cut that out of the video, but pretty cool though. Check it out. The Airbnb had this stack of menus here. So I picked a local restaurant from the stack of menus, and I got myself a chimichanga from a local Mexican restaurant downtown. So excited to not have to eat fast food tonight. Good morning, everyone. I slept like a rock here at this Airbnb last night. I was so tired last night. I needed this place. It was great. Comfy bed. It got super dark and quiet, so it was perfect for me and the dogs. We just took a morning walk around the neighborhood here and got loaded up. We only have 3 hours left to get them delivered to their new home in Phoenix, Arizona. And then, so that should put us getting there around 10 a.m. And my flight is not until 4 p.m. So I guess I'm going to be spending the majority of my day in the airport today. Fun times. Okay, I got Bandit and Nadia delivered to their family there in Phoenix, Arizona. Then I flew home to Jacksonville, Florida, and immediately started a pet sit with this little Jack Russell named Bonnie. So that means that Bandit and Nadia and I covered 2,500 miles together over the course of about 4.5 days. It was a great trip together. It was so awesome to see so many of the world's largest with them, and their family was just so nice and so appreciative. And I say this in every transport vlog, but I'm going to say it again. I am just so grateful to get to do this for a living. To get to see the world with dogs and take them on adventures, and to get to pet sit and allow families to go take vacations while I take care of their pets at home. It's all a dream come true for me. I've been doing all of this full time professionally for 11 years now. Next month, August 2025, will be my 11-year anniversary, and it's still incredible. I love it. I'm just so grateful. I'm also really grateful for you guys watching these videos and sharing, commenting, liking, subscribing. I actually hit 7,777 subscribers here on the Doug the Dog Guy YouTube channel yesterday. I'm really hoping to hit 8,000 soon. So if you're not already subscribed, hit that button. It is free for you to subscribe, and I post new videos here every Wednesday and a lot of Sundays too. So if you need help with your pets, or if you know someone that needs help with your pets, please go to badtothebonepetcare.com. Whether it's pet sitting, pet transportation, whatever it is that you need, my team's main service area is Jacksonville, Florida. But as you guys see in these videos, I run our business remotely and I will travel anywhere in the world for pet sitting or pet transportation. So I would love to hear from you. Again, that's badtothebonepetcare.com. And if you're interested in any coaching or consulting on your pet care business, I do offer one-on-one private coaching via Zoom. And you can go to dougthedogguy.co to find out more about that. I'll put all of my links down in the description below, as always. And with that, I'm Doug the Dog Guy. That's Bonnie, and we are reminding you to stay positive.